frustrating was it to have a 23-point lead and they got it down to single digits several times? So what was the discussion about giving up that big lead?
I think it was a teaching moment more than like a frustrating moment. It's really good that we face that now and later in the season when we're up by 10 and then they are up by 10, right? We knew they were a really good team. They could come back at any time. Notre Dame were up 25. They ended up losing by pretty much 10 points. So we knew they were going to come back. We knew we had a really good start. Got to learn from it. I think our team does a really good job of moving on, just noticing the great plays more than like the low lights. And yeah, I'm proud of the guys and proud of the way we finished.
Blakes, can you just talk about, obviously Miami a couple of weeks ago, you guys started really hot, it was like 21-3 or something, and then today going up 25-2. Can you just talk about like that early start and what the coaches tell you to make that happen?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's very important. The first 4 minutes kind of set the tone for the rest of the teams. So for us, when, our starting group, we try to make it an emphasis to start the game off the right way and, do the little things, and that kind of sets the tone for the rest of the team. And, obviously they made a run, but basketball is a game of runs, and I think we did a good job of staying together.
What was the conversation during halftime after you guys kind of got down to like single digits against Syracuse? What did the coach tell you?
I mean, it wasn't really any panic. I think for us, if they're panicking, we'll panic, but I think they did a great job of staying steady, staying calm, because a lot of times when, teams make their runs, a lot of people tend to splinter and go their separate ways, but for us, it was obviously, as Max said, a teaching moment of us staying together as a group and doing it together. I think one thing that we talk about is being a team, not being individuals, and it wasn't one play that was going to magically make the lead go back up to 20. It was multiple plays. So for us, it was being together as a team.
Well, it did go right for you guys to get after that huge 25-2 lead. What was looking well in the first kind of half of that first half there?
I think defense. We always talk about two things: a kill, which is 3 stops in a row, and mini games, which is basically the amount of time during 2 media timeouts. And we started off with like 3 kills in a row, and we won like the first 3 mini games basically. So that's where it started. We got a couple of block shots, forced them into tough twos, got a ton of rebounds right away. We knew we had to get physical early on with Eddie Lemkin, which we did. And we knew how to take their shooters off the 3-point line. Number 8 was a really good shooter. The guards did an amazing job there. So yeah, knew the scouting report, threw the first punch, and finished every possession with a rebound.
All right, so Jaylen, I haven't talked to you since that great shot you did at Chapel Hill. So how comfortable are you feeling when you go back east in ACC country, and then also when you play here at home playing against the ACC? So how comfortable are you with them?
I'm definitely familiar, for sure. Definitely my teammates make it a lot easier. Going in with those guys, I have the utmost confidence in them, and they just give me confidence. So I definitely am familiar. I talk to my coaches before the game, definitely try to give them the scouting report because I've seen it all, except for a couple teams. But, I definitely, I've been in those places, and for myself, being in those places, I have to make it an emphasis to kind of make it an emphasis to help my team understand what it's going to be like. When we went to North Carolina, 20,000 people, they're playing jump around before the game. So just telling them the little things to be prepared for and just get excited for those moments.
Another strong game for Benny off the bench. How big is it to get those kind of contributions from him as we get later in the season?
I think it's pretty awesome. I mean, Ryan had 9 points. Let's say he had 10. We had like 5 guys in double figures. So I think scoring comes from the entire bench, and also I think he drew a couple fouls, got a couple of rebounds as well. We talk about staying ready and having depth on our bench. I also want to note like how Evan came off the bench, knocked down a couple shots and got us some stops. So yeah, these guys are always ready, play super hard, and as Jaylen mentioned earlier, they have extremely high confidence in themselves and in each other, so there's no reason it could go wrong, and I couldn't be prouder of them.
Max, you guys are going to Dallas, I believe, Saturday, or
Tomorrow.
Playing on Saturday against SMU. Obviously, really, really big game. Can you just talk about, how important that a win on Saturday is overall?
Every win is important. once again, we only take it one game at a time, so we didn't really have our eyes on SMU yet. But I think starting tomorrow, we're going to start watching some films, probably practice and prepare this game. As you mentioned earlier, we're really good at home. I mean, we have 5-0 at home, 11-1 on the season, and we need to get a couple more road wins. I think JB carried us to the UNC win a couple weeks ago, and hopefully we can do the same and replicate that at SMU. So once we come home for Wake Forest, we'll be on a 5-game winning streak.
Circling back to your remarks about Gila, where have you kind of seen him grow and make strides heading into this year?
I mean, we all knew it. He could really shoot the ball. But, for him, he's really taken a big step defensively. He brings us a lot of energy there. And, I mean, he's a pest. I mean, I was playing against him all summer, all fall. He's definitely a pest on the ball, and he's a great defender, and he really kind of disrupts teams' offense. He doesn't get screened. He puts a lot of pressure on the ball, and I think, he does a good job of handling pressure. He's always going to make the right read, and, teams have to respect him as a shooter. So Benny's done a great job of that, but he's continuing to grow, and we have the utmost confidence in him.
All right, so Maxime, of course, you've been here a few years, so you know what Maples is like over the years. But Jaylen, what has Maples been like for you coming across country and the way you guys have not lost here this ACC season? And so what's the mood of the way Maples feels for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's a great environment.
It's better than Cameron.
They're both great. But Maples it's a great environment, definitely, and I think, just to see the students out there supporting us is special. The sixth man is big and huge, and I mean, I feel the energy. When we're playing, especially on defense, when they're chanting defense, those things kind of get us going, especially when, their Syracuse fans were there. I think we out cheered them for sure. So it's special to play here because obviously you're surrounded by, a bunch of great people doing great things, and them taking time to come to our games truly means a lot, and to cheer for us is special.
And let me follow that up with the court that you play on. Have you ever met Tara Vanderveer?
Yeah, she was actually at the UNC game, so I met her a couple times. Especially, I met her at Jimmy V's. That's my spot. But, she's great. She's a legend, and she's definitely always around. But she's just a great person to have around and just speak to. She has a great personality.
What's your go-to Jimmy V's?
I'm a pancake sandwich guy. You don't see me with anything else.
So fat.
I just noticed one thing I've noticed about your game is your mid-range game, mid-range jumper, particularly corner. Just kind of how do you kind of develop that particular aspect of your game?
Yeah, I mean, just taking what the defense gives me. I think I do a good job of attacking downhill, getting in the paint. And a lot of times people might sag off or take away the layup. So my best option might be a pull-up jump shot, especially when they're in drop coverage. They're kind of protecting the rim. So for myself, it's just working on the in-between game and taking the mid-range pull-up when I have it. Not too early in the shot clock, but later in the shot clock, taking what the defense gives me. And I think once I start hitting that up, it opens it up for Max as well, because they can't play all the way back, so they have to play up, and then Max is able to do his pick and pop thing, shoot the 3 ball. So he went for 3 of 10 today, so that's good, 30%. But yeah.
You gotta make more than that.
All right, so Max, of course you are under double figures last game. Did that individually make you feel mortal, or you just said that I'm gonna come out this game and make sure I get off to a good start?
I think both. I think it made me learn and reflect on myself a lot. As you mentioned, it's my lowest total in points in 2 years. So objectively, I was very frustrated and kind of blaming myself for not participating more to the team's success. But at the same time, watching the film afterwards, I realized how much I was drawing guys and how much the rest of the team was able to exploit that. So I think I was actually more mad at myself for being selfish and only thinking about this probably double-double. And I feel in that regard, I need to do a better job of not letting the outside noise affect me. And I'm really proud of my teammates for pulling that win, because I wasn't of much help. But at the same time, it also made me hungrier. I think I came back to the gym more than usual to get some extra shots, to get an extra feel with the ball, and we knew we had a big guy coming in today with Eddie Lemkin that we played at Colorado last year. So yeah, it's the kind of thing that fuels you and also teaches you a lot about you as a man and also about you as a teammate and a leader. And I extremely appreciate my teammates, starting by Jaylen, that support me every day and trust me and just give me that inner confidence to perform every night. So yeah, couldn't be happier to play with these guys.
You guys are 12-1 at home. Thank you. You guys are 12-1 at home now. What's your message to kind of the Cardinal fans who are kind of still in the woodwork to get them to come out and support you guys back in
Keep coming.
Yeah,
Keep
Maple
coming to
Magic,
games.
man.
We got 2 home games next week. Keep coming. Your support means a lot to us, and we're only getting better. So, yeah, get on the train now.
Right now.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So we came out to a great start, up 22-2, and we didn't have Donovan tonight. Actually, was available on the bench, but he tweaked his ankle yesterday in practice. And then once it kind of got going, it just felt like, it hurt our depth a little bit in our defense, I think. But hopefully he's healthy and be able to go moving forward. But no one, Syracuse, they got good talent, good perimeter talent. When they went to their point guard off the bench, kind of flipped the game for him. Juan Carlos or Wakan. I don't want to say Wakan. Am I saying it right? Joaquin, maybe? Jaquan, there you go. He ended up playing 33 minutes, 6 for 6. He played really well, and I thought he was key to getting him back in that thing. And like I said, it's hard to this level, any level, to wire game. We did had opportunities. I think even we're a little fatigued there. Like couldn't make a shot in the second half. Max got some great looks and really played with purpose there. And then we got it out a good one. That was a good win for us.
All right, so Coach, you guys had a lead as high as 23 in the first half. They cut it down to single digits by halftime, 22-8 run. So what did you say at halftime? Did you tell them not to panic, or did you say that we got to be better in the second half?
Yeah, no, we talked about that a little. We won the first 2. Like we measure each mini game. The first 2 medias we won, obviously convincingly. And then the idea was like, hey, let's win the next one. We went in halftime. We lost the last 3, I believe. And then we won the next one, the first 4 minutes coming out second half. So we were just trying to play clip by clip. And then in the second half, I could tell it was hard. That we just weren't getting, it was hard to get stopped. We looked a little fatigued. Ozaya looked a little long. Ryan there. And that's why I said, I got to get Evan in there. I thought he'd give us some day. He played great in a short 6-minute roll. He made 2 baskets, was aggressive, got 3 shots up. I like to see that. And, he that helped us. It was just like, good, and that can go a lot of ways in your freshman. You didn't play in the first half, get your number called, and that helped us. And we'll see where Donovan's at. But, I think we had a good rotation at 8, and Evan's been our 9th. We got some other guys down there that can help too. So it was stay the course. It was like we've been talking about handling success, staying disciplined. What you do? I didn't think we got away from. We stayed with our game plan. Even made that run. They're good, and we struggled guarding them man a little bit. And when man to man, they're getting downhill on us. And they, like I said, I think Carlos got them going a little bit.
Kevin, you could just explain the architecture of that 25-2 run. What exactly happened during that?
I don't know. We made a lot of shots. Our D was really good, so we were playing with purpose, and they do a good job of. Like us, they guard the assist. You got to score over them. They don't provide a lot of help. And we were getting some downhill drives. And Max was playing well. And then our defense was really good. I think we had them befuddled a little bit with some of our switching man and zone stuff. And but then they got hip to it. And they started making plays and didn't have a lot of answers there. So we kind of hung on.
Just talk about Gila, kind of how nice is it to have him kind of string some.
He's. I'm just really pleased with. He's just been. He hit a tough patch there when we started ACC on the road and league, and just challenged him and said, like, you got to guard. He wasn't. He looked. It's not him. He's a fighter. He's. I don't even like to mention like, oh, he's a former walk-on. Forget that. He's a good player, and I keep telling that. He reminds me of some guys I've coached in the past, and you just got to fight your way through there. And he's become really good defensively. He gives us another guy that can guard the ball, puts pressure, creates some havoc, and through that he's got more comfortable and confident. And him putting the ball in the basket and And like last game against Florida State, he hit some tough shots into the clock, and everyone would be like, "Oh, that's kind of fluky." I was like, "Nope, see that in practice all the time." And sometimes there's a lag there. So him getting that confidence and being a competitor, then making plays late, and he's just all about winning too. So it's nice to see him have that kind of success.
All right, so Coach, first year coaching here at Stanford, how comfortable and how grateful do you feel about the friendly confines of Maples right now?
That's been great to us, and more comfortable now than we did. Even we had some really those non-conference games were some nail biters that we had to learn how to become a team a little bit. You don't know each other, and like I said, our teams. I got a lot of my staff from Washington State, and our teams tend to get better as the season goes on, as we develop our roles and what we're going to do. And I feel a lot of that with this team. I'm hoping. You never know, game by game, but they've and it does give you. I didn't know what to expect tonight after. We were dealing with Donovan. We weren't sure we had him, and then I didn't see the 22-2 or whatever, 20, whatever it was. I didn't see that coming, and sometimes that's kind of usually when it does. When you think didn't see it coming or did, and then kind of you don't want them to be able to cut back into it, but they did, and it still we gave up that felt a lot like Cal Poly slow, to be honest. I know the feeling. We're like, we're having a hard time guarding them, and maybe that. Losing that one, and obviously I think Syracuse has better talent than Cal Poly's well coached, but it can happen anytime, and we're able to there's a belief that we could do that, so it's good. You got to make some plays.
Coach, how are you game planning for Saturday at SMU? Obviously one of the biggest games of the year.
It's our biggest game of the year because it's our next game. Give you real coach speak for you. Luckily, I doubt coaches are pretty creatures of habit, and so if coach against coach Enfield, I haven't watched them much other than just casually. I assume they play big. They're going to play. We have at least. I feel like I'm going to have an idea the way they want to play, and so that helps us in the preparation. You only got 2 days to get ready for them. But they're a top 50 ball club. They're right there on the bubble or in right now, but that's still a lot of basketball play. But it'll be a good test for us on the road. It'll be, obviously we played North Carolina. There's not a big difference between SMU and North Carolina, and as far as where they are in the net and that stuff. So it'll be a similar game to that, I imagine. And played there in the NIT when I was a few years ago. It's my home state. It's my home state, so I feel always good to get back home. If you've ever met a Texan, we're not afraid to let you know.
You guys are plus 10 points on turnovers, 19-9. Just talk about how big that aspect was for you guys.
It was great. We had some really good. We're a team that has to help each other, obviously, defensively, because there's some holes in there. We keep people in front, and I could see we had a lot of helper turnovers where we were fronting the post, and we kept it, and they tried to throw a lot. We got a finger on it, and Aiden actually helps us a lot there. He did some good things, had a block shot. He's a really smart defender there with his length and size. So, and that turned in some points for us. So that's good. And we turned it over 9 times, and some were late, and Jaylen uncharacteristically turned it over 5 times, and that's a backcourt caught. So I knew he's a little nicked up, a little tired, so we got to get him rested up and freshened up for Saturday.
How would you say Maxime's first half he had a double-double just in the first half? How would you say that influenced the rest of the game and him coming back from last game's a little bit of a deficit? How do you think that influenced?
You know what? I think he just came out really sharp. I actually jumped him pretty hard at practice. I haven't had to do that very often. I just felt he wasn't concentrating. And as a coach, trust me, when you're your best player, you're always a little I don't care what anyone says, you're a little nervous how you're going to respond. And it's not like I've known him for 4 years. And it's he could tank on me, but he's such a high character guy. But I just felt like I had to call him out in front of the team a little bit, just like, hey, if you got to take this stuff seriously. They're all watching you. You get all the attention for a reason. You're a really good player, but the reason we're winning is because they look up to you, so you have to do it. And he responded the right way. And then Coach Rev got a text from Rich Kelly that he was at the game, and he just had really high praise for how Maxime handled that game, even though he had 8 points and thought he did. He's obviously 13-year NBA veteran, played here and proud. And he just said, hey, man, he really did good things. They were really trying to make it hard for him to catch. And the way he handled it really opened up things for the team. And so I shared that with Maxime. I said, look, you that's pretty. And I know Maxime. I think he's going to look up to a guy like that. And just those comments, and probably for him, it's like, yeah, you don't know, like this high praise from an NBA guy that say that, and he's there and he's proud of you too. He's like really proud of the way you're improving. So I know he's proud of being. Maxie's really proud of what he's done here, being a future Stanford grad and to hear that goes a long ways.
All right, so Coach, how do you prepare for and how do you feel about these 8 o'clock starts?
Not that much of a difference, honestly. We prepare the same way, just so everything's 1 hour later. Usually it's 7 o'clock game, so I think we do shoot around at 3 o'clock, pregame at 4. So I try to sleep in a little longer, get a little longer walk with the dog. That's about it. But I think our guys they're pretty resilient. They're going to be those things on bottom. Now, I would think that Syracuse probably the first 5 minutes are like their body clocks are 11, and they probably, I don't know. It's hard. Those trips are hard, but they look fine. They look fine at the end of the game. So they're fighters. They did well.
Talk to us about this class of underclassmen, the recruits, the freshmen.
Awesome attitudes, and that's the number one. We brought them in here kind of because of that, and just what kind of why I'm here is I want to be at a place where you can build culture, and this place has a special brand, and I'm not afraid of guys that, I want guys that want to be good, academically and challenge themselves, and that's okay. But also it's okay to love basketball too, and those guys do. And Evan and Donovan have played the most, and they're doing a nice job. But Tallis and Anthony are plenty talented, and hopefully they'll learn to bide their time and make their impact known, whether it's this year or in the future. And they got a couple good role models in Jaylen and Oziah, who were at this level and didn't get to play a lot as freshmen. So I'm like to lean into those guys, and they've been great. So excited about those guys' future.
Quick follow-up.
Sure.
What are you looking to see from them in sort of making strides to get some momentum forward?
Well, for Evan's been coming along fine. It's just hard. We get those 4 perimeter pretty well. It's hard to be a 5th perimeter role, and that's kind of where he fits in. Donovan, obviously, he inserted the starting lineup. I think we've kind of taken off a little bit just because he's very rare in the sense that he's got a lot to learn, but his natural instincts, he's good decision maker both sides of the ball. He's a good defender, and he doesn't turn it over much, and he can make a 3. So it's like, keep him out there. That he makes everyone better. And then Tallis, he's just behind an All-American. It's tough to get in there. He's behind Maxime, and it's hard to take Maxime out of the game. And then Anthony's had good moments for us early, and he's probably our best perimeter athlete. And Jaylen's a senior, and that's probably who he needs to. We're going to need, like Donovan's helped us there. Anthony will help us down the future. So I think they're just keep attitude, work hard, take pride in being part of the Card family, and things will hopefully take care of themselves.
All right,
Yep.
so Coach, this is off the subject, but
Sure.
since you,
I love off the subject. Basketball bores me.
you and Zach are so Natalie clad,
Yeah.
I want to go back to, how did you know about Kappa Alpha Psi?
Oh, I'm from Houston. I'm from H-Town, man. I know about Texas Southern. All right, so I know, and let's see. It might have been school days too. I might have had a little Spike Lee joint back in the day. So, that's what I knew. Kappas, and I think, actually, I went to Hamilton College. I think the Kappas would come over to our parties from Utica. So, that was they were the pretty boys. Fair. Look what we have in the house.
Thank you, guys.
All right, great.
I love this.